Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of First Person, sponsored as always by the Precision Strip Company in Minster. A great place to work. They're always looking for good people. They could be looking for you to either start or finish your career. Check them out online. The address is scrolling across the bottom of the screen here, or give them a call. They're sponsors of First Person on PressProsMagazine.com. More high school girls basketball in the area today, in particular Division IV basketball at Covington with the head coach of the Bucks, Jim Meyer. Thanks for your time. Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate the opportunity of talking with you. We've talked about this before, because I've seen your ball club 3 or 4 times this year, for the fact of the defending state champion being right up the road in Minster, for the team, for the fact of Fort Laramie having won a couple of titles in the last 6 years, you and teams like Tri-Village here in the Cross County Conference maybe a little bit under the radar, but you're 14-2, I think, as we record this today. They're 15-1, and I think you'll take that, given the fact of the quality of your club. And it's not a bad thing to being under the radar and being maybe overlooked, is it?
Well, it's been a surprising season, because you always take a look at your schedule before the season starts, and you look at, well, games we have a good chance of winning, games that are going to be tough, and then there's those toss-up games. And those toss-up games obviously can go either way, and so far in all the toss-up games, other than the Tri-Village game, we've been successful. So, you know, a 14-2 record is, I believe the kids certainly were capable of that, but at the same time, you have to go out and you have to play every night.
Yeah, you do.
And they against those toss-up teams, our kids have really shown up and played well, and we've been able to win those, and I think that's largely why we are 14-2.
You know, Jim, what you're saying is your team is good enough to the fact that they beat the teams they're supposed to beat. There's no question about that. You have to go out. Those are get games, somebody told me one time, and you've gotten your get games.
Yeah, we have so far. We've been very successful in those games, and of course then the teams that we should beat and need to beat, we've been able to beat them as well. So, I mean, I'm real happy. And the kids are playing well, and they're a great team. They get along very well together, and it's just been a lot of fun this year.
For the fact of the Covington Bucks, if you haven't seen them play, and I think particularly with the girls' game, every good program has a marquee player. That's somebody that's out there like an Ivy Wolf at Minster. You've got one like that in Sammy Whiteman. Exciting kid to play, a great personality to meet, averages 24 points a game. No question the leader of your team, a senior going on to play college basketball next year. But as you've told me, and I will ascribe to this, she does a heck of a lot more for you than 24 points a game.
Well, she is the ultimate leader. She is the one who, when there's a break in practice, she leads that. When someone needs some cheerleading, she leads that. When you need a role model to be out ahead of everyone else and demonstrating how you're supposed to be handling yourself, she does that. She will stay in the gym after practice if she can. She will come in the morning, and she doesn't just come in and go around and shoot. She has these crazy workouts that she does, that she's developed, and you know, people see her play. Those things that she's able to do, she's worked at. It's not just a natural God-given talent. She has the natural God-given talent of wanting to work hard, but she is just a great kid, and she has been a great leader for us. And you know, we're playing some young kids this year that I didn't anticipate playing, but they're there, and she's been just a great role model and leader for them.
I want to talk about some of those other kids, because you can't, there is rarely such a thing anymore as just a team with one player. And you, and we just talked about this before we turned the camera on, have some very unique and nice, if not young, complementing players. A Claudia Harrington, who's just a freshman, kind of looks like your version of Peppermint Patty with her. I like that about her, that can step out and hit a three. You've got a Morgan Kimmel that plays hard on both ends. You've got a Lily Hamilton the other night that I saw have 4 blocks and really at key points of the game that got you going. But you've got nice parts.
Yeah, you know, we talk to the kids about roles. You need scorers, you need rebounders, you need defenders, you need people who can handle the ball. And our kids have taken that to heart. You know, a couple of names you didn't mention, Morgan Lowe,
yep,
who is our primary defender, has just you know, when she's able to take away points from a team's leading scorer, that's just like giving us points. And then we bring a freshman, Mackenzie Machino, off the bench, who's just rebounds incredibly well. And our two-headed post monster of Lauren Christian and Lily Hamilton, they both bring different skills to the game. So, you know, you throw them in with Morgan Kimmel and Claudia, along with Sammy, and the kids, you know, they play their roles to perfection. And even at times have stepped up when Sammy's been shut down and taken on other roles that have helped us. But the kids understand their roles. We don't have anybody, you know, you don't sense any jealousy. You don't sense, hey, it's my turn. They do what they do well. And I think that's what's given us the success that we've had.
And quickly, I'll add this to, this is a school with some great basketball tradition. When you go back to some of the great players that have been here, Lynette Roth, certainly in girls basketball, Tom Dunn, who I watched play, and of course Bob Hilson's record, and Roger Kraft, and some of the great coaches that have been through here. Right now, boys basketball isn't having that kind of success, but girls basketball is, and I know that's a good thing for the school, it's a good thing for the kids, good thing for the community.
Well, everything goes in cycles.
It does.
You know, and the boys, I see them every night, man, they're working hard. Matt's got them working, they prepare, and it's just going out and getting some wins. You know, winning breeds winning.
Begets winning.
And you know, for the girls, we've had a couple years of 20-win seasons, and so they know how to win. They know how to play in tight ball games, and that just comes. And the boys will, just like all small school programs, there's highs and there's lows. It's really hard to stay up all the time. So I'm real confident the boys program will cycle back up, and you know, there may be some skinny years ahead for the girls, but you know, you move through and you try to keep the big picture in mind. But this is just a great district to be in, a great district to work at. We got great kids. Like I said, I mean, the girls obviously I'm with every day, but I watch the boys. They work hard, they get along, and they play to win.
Jim Meyer, the head basketball coach of the Covington girls here in Covington High School. You're not a classroom teacher, actually, at Covington, like a lot of coaches are. Your official title here is district school psychologist. And I want to take a moment and talk with you about something that gets a lot of lip service, but few people are able to really identify about what the term perspective means and should mean. Perspective in sports and competition compared to life beyond sports and competition. And I know that's a very important element. It's something that I've always had a kind of a focus on, because I played, but you only play for so long and then you got to be an adult. And you had a situation here this week, tragic as it is, of one of your kids that lost a parent prematurely and tragically, and that really puts sports and competition at this age in perspective. What do you tell your kids to prepare them beyond the fact you can't do this forever, so you better be ready for the bigger picture?
Well, the thing that I believe in, coaching or as a school psychologist, as a counselor, as a parent, as a husband, is the importance of relationships. You know, I get a little wild on the bench.
It's a good thing.
And some of the things that I say to my kids, you know, there might be people saying, I can't believe he treats them like that. But what they don't understand is that, you know, off the court, in practice, we are building relationships with kids. And we try to be good role models for kids. And I tell the kids, I wear my emotions on the sleeve. And if I'm getting on you, I'm getting on you as a basketball player, not as a human being. And so I think it's important that kids have good role models. I think that it's important that kids understand the power of relationships, not only on the court. And like I said, this is a very, very close team. They get it. But you take that out into the world with you. And this week has been so powerful for me to see that in my kids. You know, all of a sudden a tragedy occurs, totally unexpected, and here are a bunch of high school girls that now have to become adults and now have to realize that it's just not basketball, it's just not school, it's just not going out and having fun, but life has real consequences. And to see number one, that they've been able to play and win 2 games is absolutely amazing, because many of them have been at Lily's house all week long, staying with her, supporting her, and I'm just amazed at their compassion and just what they've been able to do for her and her family. And I think that's what makes me proud, is to see these kids rise up. And oh, by the way, Coach, we'll play a couple basketball games too, and we'll win them. So, you know, last night on the way home, I just kind of felt it all come crashing down, because, you know, the kids have been so good and so strong, and obviously the coaches I've tried to be strong for Lily and her family and for the kids, and you know, like I said, I'm amazed. You see the power of relationships when you see how they have handled each other and been there for each other. So, you know, if I can give anything to the kids, a passion for success and the importance of relationships, and, you know, those 2 things I think will carry kids a long way in life.
The thing that makes you most proud is, you know, it's genuine.
Yes. Yeah.
As I said, there's a lot of lip service given to the term perspective in life and beyond, but I know it's genuine.
And you know, I know it's genuine when my kids will do anything out on that basketball court to attempt to win a game. I mean, I literally have kids who I know would run through a wall for me in an attempt to make their team successful, and that's when you know you've had meaning in their life. Even though I'm going wild and crazy, but you know, I tell them we all have roles, you know, and my role is to motivate you to play however the best basketball you can, however I can. So, but at the same time, the kids understand that. That's just Coach being Coach. He doesn't hate me. He's not yelling at me. He's getting on me as a basketball player, and that is what is important to me. I love going into practice every night with this group of kids, because they're going to show up and they're going to work hard and they're going to work with and for each other.
This is why coaches are important. Lest you doubt or lest you question, you've never walked that walk in of competition in high school. Guys like Jim Meyer have that ability to impart that upon his kids. Jim, thanks a lot. Thanks for the time. Congratulations. 14-2 is a pretty good resume going in a tournament draw, and it's just a week away.
Well, we're excited, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Jim Meyer, head basketball coach of the Covington girls here at Covington High School, and that wraps up this edition of First Person Again, sponsored by the Precision Strip Company in Minster. A great place to work, great place to start or finish your career. Check them out. For Jim and our sponsors, thanks again for your support of what we do each and every week here on PressProsMagazine.com, and we'll see you again, as always, with another edition of First Person next week.